joking.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Gray Media. This is Joshua checking in on you out there in YouTube land. How are we doing? Give yourself a quick stretch. It's only Tuesday. Oh, man. So, I'm sore. I'm sore at the end of the day. I was working out before I came in here. I'm not a saint. I do my best. And I was trying not to make a video every day, but I get so excited to talk about physical fucking media and horror movies in general. This has been a great outlet for me, so thanks for hanging out. If you can, like, comment, subscribe, talk some shit down there, do whatever you do. I so appreciate you being here. We're talking about the OG, one of my favorite haunted house movies, up there with the Changeling, how do you say it? Love that fucking movie too. But no, we're talking about The Conjuring from James Wan. Look at this lenticular slit. Hide and clap. I fucking adore this movie. It's so charming. It's kind of like the new Poltergeist for me, where it's just, it makes me feel good. Even, I mean, the music, the family, everything about it. And I know there's controversy. I know people hate the Warrens now. I personally love Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, however you say her name. I love them playing Ed and Lorraine Warren. I think Lorraine Warren is awesome. I love her documentaries, and I'm a sap. I don't care if it's fake or if it's a hoax. The Conjuring makes me feel good. Why am I punishing you with it? Let's get into it. So my history with The Conjuring, it's a little bit messy, and I don't know if you can see that. It gives me goosebumps to this day. So I'm gonna try to be as vague as I can talking about it, because I don't want to out anybody and say anything that's too negative. But I'd watched this movie in 2013, and I've been reading about it on Bloody Disgusting, I believe, and I was super excited. I love James Wan. I loved a lot of his movies, The Saw, Dead Silence. You know, I was definitely a James Wan fan, and I decided to watch this movie and then bring it into a house that was actually already haunted, and it was already wigging me out. It fucked with me, and I definitely believe in ghosts, and I've seen some shit. Usually, I'm pretty cool. I work in a building that's haunted. I hear stuff on the weekend, at night, all the time. Like, there's ghosts. It's a haunted building. It's from the early 1900s. But this time, and this didn't happen in this building, but that's just, I'm around ghosts a lot at work. It's totally cool. This time, it was not okay. I brought this movie into a house where somebody was kind of already losing their mind, and they were already seeing ghosts, and it was a really old house. I watched this movie. They had like this giant projection screen, and they were just like gonna stay upstairs and not watch it with me, and I was working kind of a knock shift, right? So I watched the movie. I was really excited to watch it, and sometimes I get off on terror, and I fuck with things I shouldn't, and this was one of those times. I brought it in, and the person that I was working with absolutely started having an episode, a meltdown. They were seeing this ghost. I was hearing these footsteps. I went upstairs. I had to sleep there, and I was supposed to check and make sure that this person was okay. And things went bump in the night. Things were happening in the kitchen. Things were happening in the farmhouse. It was an abandoned piece of property, basically, with this really long driveway. And I was seeing things. Like, I would go out to my car. I would see lights turn on where the person was not at, and it was happening, like 3:15. It was happening late at night, and it was not cool. It was not cool, and people that I know can attest to this story. And it made this person that I was working with super, super uncomfortable, and it was my bad. I should not have done that. So I have a complicated history where this movie actually scared the piss out of me. Like, I really liked the movie, and it became very kind of like heartwarming later on. But when I watched this in this environment, it definitely took a turn for me, and it definitely ruined my evening. However, I came out of that, and things have changed. I've matured a little bit. I definitely do not bring those kind of elements into already like places where people are struggling mentally, or they're having an episode, or they're in a place where there's known ghosts. Like, probably shouldn't fuck with that stuff. I mean, I guess you could say, yeah, that's all bullshit, but when you're recording it on your phone, one of those Samsung like S6s, S5, whatever the hell I had back then, it wigged me out. It's super intense. I love this movie though, and every time I watch it, I'm reminded of that. I remember I had to take a shower at this place, and I was like looking in the mirror as it was fogging up, and I was expecting to see like the ghost that's, you know, like hung himself outside. I was expecting to see that. I was just super unnerved, and I had to be awake. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. It gives me goosebumps just talking about it. But I love The Conjuring. I love it no matter what. I love the dude from Office Space. I love the mom. She's great in High Fidelity. She's in a great bunch of movies from the 90s. I love the kids. I love when Patrick Wilson and, you know, Ed and Lorraine come over and they just have to take over the house and they have to kind of cleanse it. I think that's super charming. I love how James Wan can make things that aren't scary, like pictures moving or things cracking or scissors and hair be so unnerving when they're just crawling up the walls. I love the Amity of the Horror. It's one of my favorite movies of all time as well. I love ghost stories. I think haunted house, you know, movies are probably my thing. I love Burnt Offerings. I love The Changeling. I love Poltergeist. I love movies like that, Amity of the Horror. Tons of those, right? The original, The Haunting. That's my genre. That's my thing. I like all kinds of horror movies for sure, but I think when I'm in the mood for a good scare, I love classic haunted house movies. Give me some of that. Give me The Conjuring any day of the week. Other things I love about this movie. Conjuring is just a masterstroke in filmmaking from James Wan. Absolute. The way that he kind of blends the modern filmmaking with that classic 60s and 70s haunted house approach. And I know they're using true real life occurrences. And maybe there was some factuality to some of like what actually happened. I don't really care because the movie fucking rocks. The movie, when it decides to scare you, when they're going into that wardrobe, when they're hiding and clapping, fucking when she goes down in the cellar, when she's playing with the little music box, when it starts to get into the Annabelle doll, which, take it or leave it, you know, the first one's horrible. I actually think the series gets a little better as it goes. But when Annabelle's just rocking in the chair, like James Wan builds this actual tension, this dread, this feeling that there is no relief, there's no escape in sight until Ed and Lorraine come, and then it's just like the family kind of bonds again. There's something about it. The music changes. This movie just drips with style. It's dripping with this 70s kind of like swag that I just think looks fucking great on screen. I believe all the characters. It's authentic. I can't get enough of this movie. I love the second one too. The third one was a real letdown because I'm such a massive fan. When I don't know what to recommend to people to like actually be entertaining and kind of scary, I recommend The Conjuring. And I know that it's a simple thing to say and a lot of people have seen it. If you haven't watched it for any reason, what the hell are you waiting for? It's kind of a long sit at almost, 2 hours, 112 minutes. But I think it takes you on a trip. I think it's very believable. I think it's very relatable. Having kids of my own, I can't imagine seeing your wife and then this happening to your kids. I love it, man. I absolutely love The Conjuring, and I know that it's simple and it's basic. And I wish we were talking about things that were more off the, beaten trail that are, different kind of genre films. Some stuff like fucking slugs or frogs or something. Squirm maybe, fucking Doomslayer, Evil Ed, something weird. But I'm totally fine. I could talk about The Conjuring with somebody over beers for 2 hours straight, and why I think it's amazing. Why you should watch it. The Conjuring, it's just dripping with style, man. And it's got some actual effective scares. I know it's a big budget movie and people don't like that anymore because horror's like, unfortunately we've kind of lost the trust of the major studios. I'm definitely into independent film. I love different kinds of horror, but I think for Warner Brothers and James Wan, you can't go wrong with The Conjuring. This thing's cheap right now too. I don't know why there isn't a 4K. They've got to do a box set. What the hell are we doing? Arrow, fucking 88 Films. Somebody put out a cool edition of this on 4K. I mean, I own it on every other kind of media. Why not have it on 4K? It's so good. Check out The Conjuring. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. If you can, like, comment, subscribe, share, talk some shit down there. Let me know what you think. Do you like The Conjuring? Is this just a basic pick and everyone's seen it to death, and why are we talking about it? Because people voted, and some people hit me up on Instagram and say, hey, are you going to cover The Conjuring? And I was like, you're right. I did say that I would. Sunday, I was really in the mood for a haunted house movie, so I went down the Changeling road because I fucking love George C. Scott. I love The Ball. I love everything about that movie. That Severin release I have is absolute tits. But The Conjuring rips. Can't wait to see you guys again. Have a great night. We'll see you soon. Cheers.